What's up, you guys? Welcome to Nonsense at 9, a daily show where I talk about literal nonsense at 9 p.m. Central every single weekday. And today I want to talk about one of the most important things in American culture and history, and that is the beer wall. Now, you've all probably seen, at least on social media, if you've been to college before, you've experienced the beer wall. It's when a group of fellas turns a wall into a beer wall. And you might ask, how do you do that? Well, you just take some scissors and you cut out the front part of the beer box and you tape it all together. Now the beer wall is something where people usually, it's one thing if you're like 21 and you do the beer wall. It's like, all right, well, that's just kind of expected. I didn't have that, but at the same time, if you see it when you're like 21, it's like whatever. If you see someone over the age of 24 with a beer wall, there's issues going on, and there's a lot of issues going on. The beer, if you're walking into a 24-year-old's house and there's the beer wall, typically every box on the wall equals the IQ of each individual living there, but that maxes out at 50. That maxes out at 50, so they get 100, but their IQ is still 50. That's what you kind of see when you see the older people rocking the beer wall. They're just not going to be the Bryce people, and that's fine. They love life more than anyone, though. They appreciate beer so much that they're like, let me just put it on the wall. It's literally that's what it is. It's a younger man's game. It's a younger man's version of the deer antlers in the man cave. It's just the beer wall, because you're not the people who do that. They can't afford the deer antlers. Although I have seen the beer antlers that they sell now, that's even crazier. That was a mistake. But if you have the beer antlers, that's a tier above the beer wall. You gotta get help. I mean, AAs, they want you. They want you bad. And you've also gotten probably in trouble with AAA before drunk driving for the fact that if you have a beer wall, that's probably something you've gotten in trouble for in the past when you lock your keys in the car and they're like, dude, we actually saved you for the fact that we're not going to let you drive home. That's just what happens. AA's waiting for them. They have a seat wide open. That seat's wide open and waiting for them waiting for them to come. When you see that beer wall with an older age, it's just they got no decorations. They're like, let me just throw up this Miller Lite box on the wall. And it's beautiful. It's lovely. It's what America needs more of. If everyone had a beer wall in America, we wouldn't be divided. We wouldn't be divided. All we're going to be divided about is what brand takes up most of the wall. Is it Bud Light? Is it Coors Light? Is it Miller Lite? Is it seltzers? I've never seen a seltzer wall. That would be disgusting, and quite frankly, if you had one, you should be executed. With that being said, I'm going to be the first one ever with a White Claw wall. But the beer wall, man, it's just, if a younger person does it, it's like, all right, whatever. You're just experiencing beer for the first time, really. But then once you get to that 24, 25 age, it just gets a little creepy, a little weird. If you walk into a 24-year-old's house and they have the beer wall, and you've never, just say it's an online, you met them on a dating app, get out. Get out now. Otherwise, the cops will be there to save you because they know what goes on in that house isn't good. It's not going well. Whatever's going in that house, it's not going good. It's not going well. That's to say it lightly. If they have that, they at least have 2 DUIs, probably drunkenly going to get a pair of scissors to add to the beer wall because they just crushed down a 12-pack of Coors and they're like, listen, this got to get on the wall ASAP. It's got to get on the wall ASAP. But the older people that have it, their IQs are so low. All they do on the weekends is they eat wings, watch football, and they don't have a couch. They just have chairs. And there's just a big pile of trash and Mountain Dew in the middle. Those are the people that have the beer wall at the older age. No furniture, just the boys chilling. And that honestly sounds awesome. If I could do one weekend like that, I would. I wouldn't trust maybe what goes on late at night there. They might be doing some other drugs and some other stupid activities. But listen, you give me a football Sunday, I'll get there at 12, bring some buffalo chicken dip, and I'll get out of there before the night game. I'll get out of there before 7. It's going to be a great time. Now, once they are still drinking at 1 a.m. on a Sunday when they work the next morning at the gas station, that you want to leave before that. You want to leave before that, things get messy. And they all work at the gas station. That gas station up the road, that person working there, if they're between the age of 25 and 35, they have a beer wall at home, and you know that. I'm not saying a lie here. That's actually a fact. They did a study back in the day that actually proved that to be a point. So next time you're at a Casey's gas station or Come and Go or QT, whichever is in your area, take a look at that man and just know deep down that he has a beer wall and ask him about it because they're happy to talk about it. They talk about like it's art and it took them years to assemble such a fine collection of ales from across the U.S. when really they just took it home from the gas station and then just taped it all up together. And they're always proud of it. When they come downstairs, they're like, "Here's the beer wall." It's the first thing. They could have $1 million piece of art on the other side, but they're showing you that beer wall first, and they're talking about how much it took to accumulate. They're talking about how much they're drinking and how cool it is. But they're living a really low tier lifestyle. But that gas station money is coming through. I mean, it's thousands of dollars, maybe not thousands, depending on the wall size. It's like $1,000 worth of beer, and that's just that gas station money just stacking up over time. But guys, that's Nonsense at 9, where I talk about literal nonsense at 9 p.m. every single weekday. Why don't you sub? I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central.